Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chen Chu. I'm the resident of Urology Department of Taipei Veterans General Hospital in Taiwan. Today, I'd like to represent my research about can transvaginal ultrasound shear wave elastography be a good parameter for detection of Acontractile bladder detrusor underactivity in women. The gold standard Acontractile bladder DU were urodynamic-based diagnoses with similar pathogenic mechanism but different clinical presentations. They share common pathophysiology with myogenic changes related to ischemia, which lead to bladder detrusor wall fibrosis, loss of bladder compliance, and influence detrusor muscle contractility. The aim of this study was to investigate the correlation between the thickness and stiffness measured by shear wave elastography of detrusor muscle, both measured by transvaginal ultrasonography under different degree of bladder filling. Shear waves are generated using acoustic radiation force. They propagate perpendicularly to the primary ultrasound wave at a lower velocity. The fast plane wave excitation is used to track displacement and velocity as shear waves propagate, and tissue displacement is calculated using a speckle tracking algorithm. Tissue displacements are used to calculate shear wave velocity and shear modulus. The relationship between shear velocity and shear modulus expressed at a color bar, which assumes, in our study, a density equal to that of water. During the period from October 2019 to December of 2020, 18 patients were enrolled in this prospective study. According to urodynamic results, 10 women were classified as poor bladder function group. 8 women were normal bladder function group. Detrusor wall thickness and shear wave elastography of posterior bladder wall were acquired sequentially starting from empty bladder, different degree of bladder filling, and once again empty bladder. Here's the measurement area of detrusor wall thickness and the measurement area of detrusor shear wave modulus. Detrusor wall thickness decreases during the bladder filling, and no statistical difference was found between the two groups. Patients with poor bladder function showed significantly greater mean shear wave modulus than those with normal bladder function under distended bladder at 100 ml. Poor bladder function group had the characteristics of urine leakage under distended bladder at 150 and 200 ml, causing mean shear wave modulus without increase significantly. Comparing with previous study, transvaginal ultrasound could provide good image resolution. We had higher shear wave velocity. The correlation was our probe with higher frequency. In our study, poor bladder function group has statistically significant in detrusor stiffness under bladder distension at 100 ml. Comparing to detrusor wall thickness, shear wave elastography has more reliable and clinical value for investigating poor bladder function. By measuring bladder shear wave modulus, we could also predict bladder fibrotic changes of detrusor muscle that result in Acontractile bladder and DU. In summary, shear wave elastography is a feasible and a reliable tool for bladder function survey. Thank you for your listening.